Good evening, everyone. This is Ryan Hoyme, aka Massage Nerd, and tonight we have Rick Morgan. So, Rick Morgan, I'll give a little background on him. He's been working in the healthcare field for over 12 years now, first as a pediatric intensive care nurse, a volunteer EMT, and currently a certified massage therapist. He is dedicated to helping people feel better and live healthier lives. As a teacher and guest lecturer at the AKS School of Massage, Rick taught pregnancy massage as part of the core curriculum. As a result of the expertise, he found himself frequently working with pregnant women who has been put on bed rest. Massage has been such a positive and huge impact on these women, and that he realized he wanted to make pregnancy massage a significant part of his practice. Rick realized that he could create an organization that set a standard for minimum training needed for pregnancy massage certification, help pregnant women find a qualified therapist, and educate the public on the marvelous benefits of pregnancy massage. He could take his passion in helping pregnant women feel better to a whole new level. Thus, the American Pregnancy Massage Association was formed. Welcome tonight, Rick.
Thanks, Ryan. Good
Yeah.
to be here.
Yeah. So, why would you make a pregnancy massage association?
Mainly because when I took my practice from a sole practitioner level to having a clinic, wanted to continue doing the pregnancy massage on a bigger level. And we were always getting phone calls about, are your therapists certified or what kind of training do they have? And I wanted to make sure that my therapists were certified. And so I started looking into that. There were so many variables as far as what training was involved, how much time was involved in the training, who was doing the training. And I was getting confused just trying to figure out what kind of training to get my therapist. And I thought to myself, if I have this much trouble as a professional, how much trouble do pregnant women have in finding a qualified therapist? So I started the kind of planted the seed for what eventually became the American Pregnancy Massage Association. Um, so that uh, from there, we started looking into it some more and realized that there wasn't a lot of, there was no standard for even what was taught in school, whether they included pregnancy massage as part of the training or not. And so it just seemed like a logical step that we needed to do this. And and my wife always says, "Why not?" So we decided to look into this, and we did some research on it, and talked to some people, and there was a lot of support for it. So we went ahead and got things rolling.
Have you thought about have you thought about Hello?
Yep, you still
Oh,
there?
oh yeah, there's an echo going on. Have you thought about doing other associations, or why is this so true to your heart, would you say, though?
Well, when we started the American Pregnancy Massage Association, we thought that maybe some other specialty associations should be started as well, but they weren't. They didn't. The other specialties didn't really speak to me as much. Pregnancy massage has always been part of my practice. Um, Working with families, even back when I was a nurse, um, was always something that I really enjoyed doing. So things like sports massage or oncology massage, while they're great specialties, they didn't reach into my heart as to something that I wanted to spend a lot of time and energy on. So,
And are you currently doing a lot of massage right now?
well, currently I'm not doing any massage. So, for you listeners out there, just tell them, Ryan, I'm scheduled for some back surgery real soon, so that's kind of put a hamper in my massage practice. Um, but up until about 6 months ago, I was a practicing therapist.
So 6 months ago you were kind of thing, but now you're not doing it as much then?
Correct. I still have a massage center. We have 5 rooms, 8 therapists, and our center specializes in pregnancy and massage. So I kind of help run that as well as the APMA.
Okay. And can you back up a little bit and let me see if the audio is going in and out?
That
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. You're just jerking a little bit with the audio and stuff. So,
Sorry.
yeah. So it says that you're currently own the largest independently owned massage center in North Virginia. Then.
Yeah, from a standpoint of how many therapists are working for us and the number of sessions, as of about a year ago, when we were checking around in the Northern Virginia area, ours is, as far as an independent, we're the largest. We have a number of massage envies in the area, and they totally dwarf us. But for a massage center that specializes just in massage, um, our place is pretty big.
Okay. Or maybe can you bring the computer closer a little bit? Let's see if
Let's see.
that works.
How's that? Any better?
Yep. Okay. Talk for a little bit.
So, hey, talk a little bit about our massage center. Our massage center is, it's like I said, has 5 rooms. We have 8 therapists that are employed there, some support staff, and we're one of the few massage centers in the area that's strictly dedicated to just working with massage. We've got some spas and day spas and some other things like that, but there's not too many actual massage centers in our area.
Oh, there isn't?
Now, a lot of independents working just, working on their own. They might rent an office or share an office,
Uh-huh.
but not too many massage centers that employ therapists.
Is there a lot of massage schools around there then?
We do. I think we've got within probably 15 miles. We have 4 schools, and we have pretty high concentration of massage therapists in Northern Virginia. But the vast majority of them seem to like to work independently.
Okay. Probably a little bit more lucrative that way then, right? Or
Well, no, people have asked me because I've done, massage as an employee for other person. I've worked in a spa. I've worked on my own, running my own clinic, and now I've got a clinic that that people work for me, and they're like, well, what's the most lucrative way to go? And I'm like, it's really pretty much, I think I've been making the same amount of money. So it's just no matter what your lifestyle is like and how much physical work you do versus mental work and other things. So,
and,
but
and,
go ahead.
And what are some of the standards you have for your pregnancy association then?
Well, what we did is we looked at what was the minimum amount of trainings so that somebody could do a pregnancy massage safely on a healthy pregnant woman. So assuming she doesn't have some major complications going on or some underlying issues. We said, well, what kind of training would somebody need? And what our standards have come out is that they have to have 12 hours of didactic learning or book learning, specifically in pregnancy massage, dealing with contraindication, safety, positioning considerations, basic pregnancy health issues, the pathophysiology and the physiology of pregnancy. And then they need to have 6 hours of hands-on training in addition to that 12 hours of book learning. And so that's our basic educational standard. Then we ask for our members have to be in compliance whatever their local laws require for practicing massage. And, that varies from state to state and even from city to city in some places.
So there's different levels than you have then in order for your association then, for your practice then?
Well, no, we've got the basic therapist member just has to meet those requirements. We have not set up an advanced level at this point. There are some people that are asking us if we're going to be doing that, and that might be down the line. But right now, what we're trying to do is get a minimum standard of training for as many therapists as possible, so that pregnant women can find a therapist that has training. Because right now, one of our challenges for the APMA is finding therapists that have simply had pregnancy massage training. Um,
And notice that out in the public, not a lot of therapists are trained in pregnancy massage, would you say, or?
Well, we did a survey last summer on massageprofessionals.com. We went on there and asked people to participate um, if they had publicly stated on their profile that they engage in pregnancy massage. We asked them to fill out a survey. And then I asked the nice people at ABMP to give me some statistics on how many people are using that service. And it turns out that roughly 25% of the people that are doing or that are on that website, that forum, and practicing massage, 25% of them do pregnancy massage, and that's part of their practice. However, only half of them have had any formal training other than maybe on the job or just learning it themselves. So not many people actually are doing it as a part of their practice and have the training.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think massage schools don't focus on pregnancy massage as much?
Well, I think they've got a lot on their plates. They're trying uh, to get people to have a good core basic knowledge of Swedish massage, physiology, anatomy, and so forth. And they're trying to do it in about I think the majority of them are trying to do it in about 500 hours, and it's just something that they will more often than not just glance over, feeling that it is a specialty and therefore people can, if they so desire and they like that area, they can go on and get advanced training, just like oncology massage or sports training or so forth. Um,
Is there any CEUs that you recommend to get more advanced training for pregnancy massage?
On our website at AmericanPregnancyMassage.org, we've got a list of courses that we've already evaluated and approved for our membership. Um, there's some really big names in there that have been doing this for a while. Carol Osborne has a great course out in California, and she travels. Kate Jordan, Claire Marie Miller, Leslie Stegler, Kelly Lott up around where you are, I believe. There's a number of courses on there, and more people are submitting their courses for our review at this moment. So, keep looking, and we'll have more up there.
And if massage schools do actually offer pregnancy massage in classes, in their core classes, what do they mostly go over, would you say? Would you say they don't even really massage at all? Do you think it's more book lecture related, or more just hands-on techniques, or what have you heard so far?
Well, so far from what I've heard, and I honestly, there's so many schools out there that I really don't have a good grasp of everybody. So, take what I say with a grain of salt from what I've heard. So I'm sure if I offend somebody, I'm going to get a lot of calls. But mostly, and this is what I've seen, that if they're teaching pregnancy massage, it's usually a 2 to 3 hour lecture going over just the basics, safety considerations, maybe some of the more serious complications that could happen during a pregnancy, and some contraindications. And then they might have a hands-on lab, usually one day, maybe 2 sessions, but it's typically just how do you do a sideline massage? Very rarely are they actually going to get a pregnant woman coming in for them to practice on in the schools. And that's probably, that's a logistical nightmare to try and maintain that. So
Yeah.
I can understand that. So.
Because at the school I teach at, we have to sometimes post the pregnancy massages at least a month in advance because it's so hard to find pregnant women sometimes, and so
It's funny. We had a provider come into our clinic, and I just went down to the local yoga place that does prenatal yoga, and put a sign-up sheet, and there was a line out the door. But that's only for 8 therapists. So, at a massage school, you got to get a lot of, 30, 35 people, I guess, in the class. So.
yeah. And do you guys actually certify people in pregnancy massage?
We don't actually certify. Our job is really to try and set the standards for the coursework and for the advanced training, and to facilitate therapists finding a coursework that meets that standard. So we're not trying to teach people directly. There's just no way we can get out there and do all that. Um, so we're trying to get instructors to match them up with therapists. So we'll often have a lot of therapists calling us or going to our website, asking just that, how do I find a course instructor, and when are they doing it, and so forth. So.
And then there's a couple people online that are working for Massage MB, Darcy and Russell.
Mhm.
They say Massage MB actually certifies in pregnancy massage.
Yeah, Massage Envy, and we applaud them. They're doing exactly what we like to see. Um, they created a course for their employees and spent a lot of time, money, and energy doing it, and asked us to look at it, and we took a look at it, and it met our standards. Um, so any of their employees that have gone through that training are eligible for membership with us. That was quite a commitment on their part, and we're happy about that. One of our challenges as therapists is, you know, where to get your training. There's a couple of people out there that are teaching, but there's maybe 10 of them that are really well known, and they do a circuit and maybe teach 10 classes a year. But you can't get to everybody that way, and it's awfully costly for a therapist to travel to an educational forum. So by Massage Envy bringing it in-house, it kind of uh, kills two birds with one stone. Therapists are being treated to the continuing education, and it's right there, convenient for them. So.
And then I remember back in the day when I went through massage school, so about over 13 years ago. I mean, it was things weren't really that known, it seemed, for massage and pregnancy. And I mean, especially the first trimester, stay away from that. And what are the beliefs now in our society with massaging in the first trimester?
Well, most of the educators out there that have been doing this for a while and spent some time in researching it, are all teaching that first trimester for a healthy pregnancy is perfectly acceptable to do massage. Um, the myth of not doing it in the first trimester is mostly about liability. Unfortunately, if a woman does miscarry, chances are it's going to be in that first trimester. And from a legal standpoint and from a lawyer's perspective, you don't want to be the last person to have touched her. So a lot of places came out with policies simply saying, we don't want that risk. So we're not going to do massage in that first trimester. Some of your bigger spas and resorts and so forth did that. And that kind of perpetuated the myth that it was not safe. But there's no research that actually supports that, more from a liability standpoint.
Okay, so you haven't really heard any lawsuits or anything else with that
No,
then?
I've asked around, and I've not heard of a single lawsuit based on massage during the first trimester.
Yeah.
So.
Do you, have you heard of any kind of lawsuits at all for pregnancy massage or?
I have not heard of anything directly. I've heard people talk about lawsuits in massage very rarely as a general rule, and it's usually not related to the treatment itself. Um, so I think from that standpoint, I think that even the myth that it's uh, a liability issue is really kind of blown out of proportion since there actually haven't been lawsuits involved in this. So.
Yeah, so even regular massage, I mean, you really got to look really hard in order to find anything, it seems. And
Yeah, I mean, the insurance companies are there to make money. So if we, you could look at them and say, what do we pay $200 a year for $3 million for the coverage, something like that from most places. If we were getting sued on a regular basis, it would be a lot more than $200. So, um,
And then Darcy says, I do not work on my client's feet during the first trimester. Have you heard of that sometimes? I mean, with like reflexology points and stuff to stay away
Right.
from, or
Yeah, and you're going to get mixed input on this, mixed opinions on this. There are a number of teachers um, that really subscribe to the acupuncture belief that there are certain acupressure points that one intentionally work with because they can stimulate the uterus. Um, but then you get other teachers that do not teach that at all. So uh, there's no real hard research on it either way. Um, so personally, I think a good foot massage is heaven for a pregnant woman. Um, but I won't dig into one of those acupressure points. But there's nothing wrong with a good foot massage, I think.
yep. And then Sid Duncan says, when the mother gets massaged, the baby comes out happy. Is that true?
Well, there's definitely some research supporting that stressed out moms produce kids that have problems. Um, so we know that massage helps stress levels. So that I think there's probably some truth to that to a certain degree. And the what goes on in the mom's body, the baby reacts to. So that's one of the fun things about doing pregnancy massage is that you actually get to treat two people at once.
Okay.
So,
But for one price, though, right?
for one price, yeah, we can't charge, right?
Yep.
That'd be nice.
Yep. And for the people when they go through your association for pregnancy massage, do they get some kind of a card or some kind of plaque, or what do they get to show proof that they've reached that minimum standard then?
Well, we do. We allow them access into our members only area of the website, which has some downloadable items that they can use. We've got some brochures that they can customize to themselves, some collateral that they can use. You can download the imagery for our logos for both web and print, and display that. So so right now that's kind of what they can physically use from us, and then of course just we always recommend that they capitalize on the credibility that they get by being a member of the APMA, and talk about that in their collateral. So, in addition, probably the most valuable thing that they get is we have a searchable database on our website for pregnant women can come and look, looking for a certified therapist or not or an advanced trained therapist in pregnancy massage. They could just search by zip code and find out where their members are. And so.
And about how many members do you have right now?
I think we're, for those who don't know, we're just about a year old now, and I think we're closing in on 100. I haven't done an accurate count in a couple weeks, but.
And that's huge bragging rights too for the therapist, you'd think too. So, so, so they could say that they've reached that minimum standard and stuff like that, and then especially people are more likely to hire the therapist too if they have that extra kind of training or extra knowledge, you'd think. And
yeah, exactly. It's your continuing education never goes to waste, and if you can, as an employer. When I look at a potential therapist, I say, well, how can I market this person? And if they belong to, if they're nationally certified, if they're qualified for the APMA, things like this, these are things I can market as an employer. So it's definitely a bonus for them. So.
And I know with pregnancy massage, I mean, back in the day for myself when I learned it, they told us mostly just to have the woman lay on the left side. Has that changed much over the times?
Well, predominantly you're still seeing the teaching of the side-lying positioning. Left side versus right side. It can go either way on that. most places that I've seen teaching are teaching that you do most of the work while they're still on their left side, um, and you can flip them to the right side for a little bit. And then some work can also be done in a semi-recumbent positioning if you can keep the hip angle, the hip and torso angle at greater than 35 or 40 degrees. That's safe as well. Um, what you're seeing now also, though, is a number of positioning systems that are coming out. The body cushion system, Oakwork sideline positioning system, that are really trying to, well, in the case of the body cushion, they are trying to allow you to do massage in prone positioning safely, which is tricky. You have to know how to use that system pretty well. And then Oakworks came out with a really nice supportive system for doing sideline massage. So,
And then also when I went through massage school, we learned different kind of positions too, like a child pose when they're on their knees a little bit, or they're kind of hugging the pillow. If they're sitting in a chair, so they can lean against the
mhm.
table. And do you
Yep.
recommend those kind of positions too then, or?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those work out really well, especially if you're going to be, a lot of people will incorporate uh, as part of their service, help to teach their spouse um, how to do a little bit of massage at home. Of course, most people don't have massage tables at home, so uh, help support the woman during her the birth. So they'll teach the father how to position his wife so that they can do some massage in the hospital. So so those things work too. So
And I've read in some massage and pregnancy books that they say they don't recommend the pregnancy tables like the cutout in the abdominal region and stuff. And have you read that too? And what is the average person's belief, would you say, about that?
yeah, those came out a number of years ago, and people thought, oh, what a great idea! We just let the belly hang through the table, and they'll be comfortable. But what we found is that one, they tend to accentuate the lordotic curve of the lumbar. As the belly hangs unsupported, you put more lordosis in that lumbar, which is not comfortable. The other thing is that by having that prone positioning unsupported, you get some strain on the uterine ligaments, the round and broad ligaments. Um, and that causes more back pain because they're attached posteriorly. So we don't really recommend it anymore. So uh, that's where body cushion has been trying to figure out a way to do that and still support the belly. Um, so
And is there any other supportive devices? I remember at the World Massage Festival, that's the first time I saw you there. A Mother Love pillow, I think it's called.
yeah, I think that there was one that looked like a foam cutout
Yeah.
that you put on a table. Um, yeah, and this gets into some of the things with research. They they've been around a long time. Apparently, I talked to them for a few minutes, and I think they've been around for 15 years. I hadn't seen them before, but and they talked about the fact that they did research on it, and I'm like, well, what kind of research? And apparently, OB signed off on it, so that was their research on it. So I'm not sure how much safety uh, evaluation has gone into some of these products, and that's part of what we're trying to do too. Is to really try and get manufacturers to look at what they're producing for pregnancy massage and say, do research on this, make sure it's safe. Don't just bring it to market and like the massage tables with the cutouts that we had, and hope that people buy it and we find out later that they're not terribly good. So
Yeah. And is there any other products out there that you would not recommend?
you're going to try and get me in trouble
No.
unless you. How much to that, Ryan?
Yeah. or maybe they should do a little bit more research on those
Well,
areas before they purchase them. Let's put it that way, okay?
I would say that, I'll hedge my bet and say most of the major manufacturers of massage equipment, your well-known brands, have done their homework. So, uh, if you've never heard of the company before, do your research. That's probably what I would say. The major companies out there are not going to bring a product to market without having done some research on the safety of it, because they know they're liable if it's a problem, um, and and they're in the business to stay around for a while. Um, so that'd be my recommendation.
And I know some people when they give pregnancy massages, they even schedule like an hour and a half. Is there any certain time frame that people usually do for pregnancy massage?
Yeah, I think traditionally most people do an hour. Um, and But I was looking into that recently. It's funny you should ask that, because at now that more and more people are getting pregnancy massage, especially, we're finding that more and more people are getting massage in general, and then they get pregnant and they want to continue it. A lot of these people have been used to getting 90-minute sessions. So at our clinic, we noticed that a lot of people were requesting 90-minute pregnancy massages. And so we looked into it to try and find out if there was any research out there that says that's good, bad, and different. And quite honestly, we couldn't find anything out there that made a recommendation for the length of time. Um, and so we went ahead and said, all right, well, if they want 90 minutes, I don't think that's a problem. We do screen people, because one of the problems that you can run into is that a woman can get really fatigued after a massage while she's pregnant. So you want to make sure that she's feeling pretty healthy, not too run down to begin with before doing a longer massage, I think. But then you'll find, I don't know that too many places do shorter than 60 minutes, mostly because with all the positioning you have to do, it takes a little more time, and it's hard to do a thorough job in less than that, I think. So,
Yeah, because at the school I work for, we usually do about 90 minutes just so we can have the students position them, and if they have to go to the bathroom and all
yeah.
these little things and stuff like that. But it's an educational facility, so we can play around with a little bit longer time then. So that's what's nice about it. And,
Yeah, we found that last time I ran the numbers, probably only, I think, 15 or 20% of the women that are getting pregnancy massage at our clinic are doing longer than 60 minutes. So not many of them are, and I suspect that most of them are women that have had 90-minute massages before they were pregnant, and they're just addicted to that long massage. So.
and they just have more of themselves to get massage now too.
Right.
So.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, they're working the guilt thing. It's like they tell their husband, "You got me pregnant. I want a 90-minute massage." And the husband actually goes, "Whatever you want, dear."
Yeah, exactly. Do you know of any online courses at all for pregnancy massage for like continued education?
I know that for an online course, live online course, there. I know there's one or two out there. We're still evaluating some of that. There are a number of DVD courses you can order and do it, distance learning kind of setups. The Somatic Institute out in California has one, and there's a number of others. So if you can't get to a course, a hands-on course, there's some pretty good online learning ones too, or some distance learning ones.
And then somebody said that they're not allowed to massage the baby, like the abdominal area, during the pregnancy. Have you heard of that too then?
Yeah, there's a number of thoughts on that, but most of them they say that if you're going to do abdominal work, it has to be very, very light. You don't want to be doing any deeper abdominal work, because theoretically you can turn the baby, deep deep abdominal manipulation is used to turn breech babies and so forth. So you don't want to get down into that. And quite honestly, I couldn't see a pregnant woman really wanting to do work on her abdomen. But I know a lot of spas will do some light effleurage type abdominal work with various massage creams and shea butters and stuff to help with reduce the appearance of stretch marks or help maintain elasticity so they're less likely to get them. So,
And what kind of things do people use now when, let's say, a pregnant woman is more nauseous?
well, if they are nauseous, you got to, they might not even be coming in.
But you remember that 24-hour cancellation policy, you know?
It's funny. It's like we actually throw our 24-hour cancellation policy out the door when it's pregnancy is involved. And sometimes women just don't feel good during their pregnancy, and they're never going to know. Hour to hour, sometimes it can change. But you definitely don't want to do any kind of rocking motion, especially in that first trimester. Tween style of rocking, that can very well make them nauseous. You want to keep your aromas in your place to a minimum, not wear colognes or perfumes, because pregnant women often have a hypersensitive smell, and nausea can be triggered from that. During that first trimester, you screen your clients well and tell them that, if you're having really bad nausea, don't come in. That's, we'll forgive you for that. Or we don't want to throw it up on the table, right?
Yeah. And have you noticed that your pregnant clients, are they a little bit more forgetful? Do you have to remind them at all?
No, but I think a good practice in general in running your massage practice is to make reminder calls. And I think people in general are forgetful. But most pregnant women, man, they're really looking forward to that massage. They sometimes feel pretty bad, and that's it. You're going to make them feel better, and they don't miss that appointment. So.
And is there any online courses that you're approved right now?
Well, from a distance learning standpoint, there's the course over at the Somatic Institute that we've approved, and that's Judy's teaching that over there, and I think that's currently the only distance learning one that has been submitted that we've approved.
Okay, and then do other people find you, or do you search for places and stuff like that and find out that information then, or?
Well, we always keep our eyes open for coursework and see what's going on, but most of the time now that people are starting to hear about us after, we've been around a year now, is that they're submitting the coursework to us. So it's been, which is a lot nicer. It's hard, finding all these people they're teaching. So.
Yep. And is there any liability insurance companies out there that do not cover pregnancy massage?
Good question. I really don't know. Since pregnancy massage currently by statute is covered under the scope of practice of massage therapy, I think that they are required to, you're working within your scope of practice, so that they're required to cover you. So.
And is the APMA a nonprofit company then?
No, we are actually an S Corp company. We talked about doing for a nonprofit, and we honestly think that's what we will become. But since we're really young still, and we want to be fluid as to the direction that we need to take, having it as a for-profit company, we can make quick changes rather than having a whole board of directors that needs to us direction and so forth. So. But once we really take off and we've got a really good membership base. I totally anticipate becoming a nonprofit. And we run it as if it's a nonprofit. But we just don't, we haven't filed that paperwork.
And is there more benefit in that, would you say, for being nonprofit or not? Or
Well, I think that gets down to a business decision. As a nonprofit, you definitely have better tax situations. We wouldn't be taxed on our profitability. On the other hand, it's a tremendous amount of paperwork, and you have to. Nonprofits are run by a board of directors that are elected by their membership, and then they usually hire on an executive group. So right now we've got a fairly small membership base, and we are just really beginning to get going here. So it seemed a little premature to try and form a board of directors at this point from our membership. So.
But you think it might eventually happen, though, or?
Yeah, I totally predict that's where we'll probably be in 5 years.
Okay. And what is your vision? I mean, in the next 2 or 5 or beyond years for this association?
Well, right now we're, since we are so young, what we're trying to do is establish relationships with the massage community and get the word out there. So for the next 2 years, our vision of growth involves really getting connected with everybody in the massage industry and trying to promote pregnancy massage and education programs and start getting the word out to the general public about pregnancy massage, dispelling a lot of the myths. We're doing a lot of work. I think we did a search for pregnancy massage articles, and something like 3,000 hits came up on Google. And a lot of those are very inaccurate. So we're going through and trying to contact authors and getting them to correct any inaccuracies that they have and try and get the proper information out there in the public. So that's kind of where we're moving in the next 2 years. Hopefully sometime in the next 5, we'll have a large enough membership base to really look at the nonprofit status and start throwing some money at research, what we'd really like to do, and throw a lot more money into public education for pregnancy massage.
And with the whole pregnancy massage, I mean, do you have criteria too for like postpartum? Is that considered part of pregnancy massage for your stuff then, or is that a totally separate thing, would you say?
It's usually taught in maybe more advanced courses on pregnancy massage. It's not part of our minimum requirements. So what we're trying to deal with right now is for the woman that is pregnant and wants to go see a therapist, what are the training requirements for that? There are a lot of therapists out there that want to expand upon that knowledge and work with people throughout their whole birthing process, from fertility all the way to postpartum, and including working in the birthing suites and so forth. And that's more of for an advanced practitioner that's gone on and gotten a lot more training. So we haven't included postpartum or fertility or as part of our core training requirements.
And what about doulas? I mean, some doulas get into massage, or some massage therapists get into being a doula. Is that something that's in the near future too, to incorporate into this?
Yeah, we have a very close relationship with the doula community, but doulas are not necessarily massage therapists, and vice versa. Their training is different. So depending on the state, like here in Virginia, somebody who's a certified doula can't do massage unless they have a license to do massage. So they would have to become a massage therapist in addition to being a doula. Now I think in Delaware they don't have that requirement, so they can do a massage there. So, um, but we're not going to, as the American Pregnancy Massage Association, we're not going to go uh, into the world of the doulas. They have their own great association, the International Doula Association, that really works with them. So,
And I know for acupressure and stuff like that, there's points. I mean, to help increase milk flow, and also points to help increase pregnancy, or like the pericardium 6. I think it is for when they're nauseous and stuff like that. Do you guys recommend those kind of points and things too?
yeah, I mean, most of the advanced courses will cover the basics of acupressure and some of the basic stuff like you just talked about for nausea and even labor pain and uh, and things like that. That's a whole field of study, and so one of the things that we're also trying to do is, you've got your basic pregnancy massage course, but then there's not a lot of courses out there for continuing education that delve into specialty areas, like the use of acupressure during pregnancy, or even um, I know Jenny Ray, who we met at World Massage Festival. She actually came out with a stone massage for pregnancy. But that's one of the few specialty courses I've seen that isn't just your basic pregnancy massage course. So we're trying to contact a lot of educators and see if they can um, adapt their techniques and teach courses for their techniques as adapted for pregnancy. So.
And do you recommend people, like the body pillow, and do you recommend those kind of things for at-home uses too? So you want that incorporated into your association too, then?
We haven't gotten into that so much. We've had a lot of, obviously we've had a lot of manufacturers of products come contact us and say, hey, can you support us with this? Or can you promote this for us? And we're trying to be a independent party that's not partisan to the and try not to endorse a particular line of products or anything like that. So we haven't gone down that road. We recommend and wholeheartedly support teaching your clients how to properly position themselves at home, whether that's using a particular product or just pillows or what have you, though. So,
And would you say most therapists just stay away from aromatherapy totally, just because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of research out there for pregnancy and aromatherapy, or?
yeah, and with the danger here of alienating myself from the aromatherapy market, I, uh,
Sorry to get you in trouble all the time.
yeah, you're good for stirring a pot, right?
Yep.
um, there's, I would say that if anybody that's interested in pregnancy massage and aromatherapy really needs to do their research. Aromatherapy can be some very powerful stuff, and there are definitely some oils that you don't want to be using. Um, I'll be honest, aromatherapy has never been my gig, so I personally stayed away from it with pregnancy massage. Um, because you never know what's just going to make a woman nauseous when she's pregnant. Um, but it is definitely a specialty thing. If you're going to do aromatherapy and you're working with pregnant women, definitely do your research.
And I remember for my wife, for her first pregnancy, they gave her prenatal pills, and they smelled like vanilla. And she only lasted a couple days with that, and we had to get a new, a different kind and stuff like that. But you'd think they wouldn't want to have smells and stuff.
Right, yeah. That doesn't seem to make much sense. Although I guess, some of those iron pills and so forth are pretty terrible tasting, so maybe they're trying to cover that up. So
Yeah.
it's good to be a guy. We don't have to go through that,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Exactly. We have sympathy pains, though.
The sympathy weight gain,
Yep.
right?
Yep. You know. And Darcy said aromatherapy is contraindicated for pregnancy massage at Massage Envy.
That would make sense.
Yeah, because
So
they really don't use much aromatherapy there, I think, anyways. So.
right. And they're a big organization, and they want to have some policies in place that protect them. Um, and they've got 16,000 therapists, right? So uh, they don't. That's a lot of independent practice going on, and I think they just try and they hedge their bets and say, let's not go down that road at all. Um, and I think as an organization, that's a very smart move. So.
You know, and then
And then,
yeah. And then for pregnancy massage, I mean, with is there how many pregnancy cushions would you say are out there? Some name brands.
as far as like positioning things
Yeah, yeah,
for a table,
yeah.
the main two that I know about are the Oakworks sideline positioning, which just got introduced this year, I believe. Um, and they're not marketing that as strictly a pregnancy massage positioning system. They're marketing it for all sideline type work. Uh, but I know that Carol Osborne, who is kind of the mother of pregnancy massage, or one of them, she had a role in developing that. So I know that they took the pregnancy side of it very seriously. Um, and I know that the body cushion system they initially just had a basic body cushion system, and then they came out with a bunch of like a pregnancy set to help adapt for pregnancy in the prone positioning. So that's them. We're laughing. I can't remember the name of that pillow system that we saw at World Massage Festival. Um, but I know that Massage Warehouse is selling like two different either wedges or pillow systems in addition to that, but I can't remember their names. For the most part, there's not many out there. Most therapists, I think, just use pillows for positioning system. Um,
And is there any better pillows that you can purchase that are more sanitary or?
Um, well, I'd stay away from all organics. So as much as a down pillow is comfortable, it's not very sanitary. Um, and then um, one thing, Oakworks is part of their system. They've got a vinyl pillowcase cover that's just like the vinyl tops that on their tables. So it's real easy to wipe down. They're the only people that I've seen do that. And I'm not sure that, I mean, people over at Oakworks told me that they were going to potentially sell that separate. So that might be available too. Um, Other than that, a lot of pillowcase covers.
Yep.
Throw your pillows every once in a while.
Yep. And is there any certain things, places where people would want to market more for pregnancy massage to offer pregnancy? Let's say a massage therapist is through your association. I know clients can go on your website to find those kind of therapists.
Mhm.
But what do people do for marketing to try to find pregnant women and?
Well, I think there's a wonderful thing about pregnant clients is that they tend to congregate. They take a lot. they take a they take a lot of specialty classes. They take a lot of health classes, exercise classes, water aerobics for pregnancy, yoga for pregnancy. And so if you can make connections with these instructors or these facilities that do that, that's a great way to network with those people. The other thing, part of the survey that we did was we asked people if they actually even market their pregnancy massage, and they don't do anything specific to do that, and I think that's a huge mistake because if you can get a new pregnant client in the door that's in her first trimester or early second trimester, you've got a good likelihood of seeing her 6 to 10 times over the next 6 to 9 months. And not only that, she's going to tell everybody, and that's that's one of the things I tell people about, if you're going to pick a specialty, pick one that the clients talk to each other about. At my clinic, we also do a lot of work on athletes. Um, but I tell you what, you get a triathlete out there, and you fix them up, and you make them, you make them feel better after that Ironman he did or she did, and they're going to be very happy, and they're going to be a loyal client. But they don't go telling everybody that you fixed them up or you made a huge difference in their life. But a pregnant woman, man, she sees somebody at the bank that's pregnant that's holding their back, and she'll go give them your card. They they communicate together, they bond well, and they talk about what makes them feel better. And that is just they market for you. So it's a great you know it's a great audience to work with.
And Russell said babies are us too. So.
Yeah. Actually, when I first started doing pregnancy massage, Babies R Us, or Toys R Us, yeah, no, Babies R Us, had classes and guest lecturers that would come in and talk about stuff. And I did that. I went to Babies R Us and did a demo of what pregnancy massage is about, and answered people's questions, and it led to a couple clients. So. All joking aside, that's not a bad way to do it. And farmers markets and other venues that that you see a lot of families at are great places to set up for networking. And of course, don't forget the web. I mean, if you have a website, make sure you've set it up so that people can find you when they type in pregnancy massage. And tell them you're advanced certified and that you're a member of us. And pregnancy massage or pregnant women do their research. I can't remember the numbers now, but there's 6 million pregnant women a year in the United States alone, and I think the American Pregnancy Association, not Massage Association, but American Pregnancy Association, did some research and found that 70% of those women go online more than 20 times during their pregnancy to do research on pregnancy. So these are very educated consumers. They're doing their research. So if your website talks about the fact that you do pregnancy massage, you specialize in it, you've gotten that advanced training, you're part of an association that's dedicated to promoting pregnancy massage and standards in that, then they're going to feel much more comfortable working with you than the person that just lists it on their something they do. So.
Yeah, because that's what I noticed too in our standards. I mean, for our massage field, there are standards, but there's not standards. That's the problem.
Right. That is a big problem. Yeah, that's something we're trying to work with. Yeah, I mean, there's no standards for what it takes to get a license. It depends on what state you're in, and or if you even need a license. There's certainly no, even in the educational side of things, go down that road for quite a while, and there's no standards for who can even teach massage. That's one of the things we're trying to work with schools and even getting them guidelines for what the pregnancy massage instruction should be like in the schools. And so it's challenging for us to come out and say that we are a really professional organization, group of healthcare providers, and we don't have standards in our own industry. So.
Yep. And then, what kind of criticism have you had so far with starting this organization? Because I know everybody has flack over no matter what somebody does, even though it's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, there's always these critics and stuff.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we thought when we started this organization, we thought it was going to take a while. We're going to get a couple. Nobody's even going to notice us in this industry until we have a couple thousand members. We were really focusing on on just that, and then it turned out that the industry noticed us before the general massage therapist did, and I would say 99% of the industry has just been totally supportive of what we're doing. It's really encouraged us and offered us a lot of advice. And um, I, the main criticism I think that we've gotten would probably be there are people that want to. There are either people that want to have a very, very high standard of what should be pregnancy massage training, and a 5-day hands-on workshop kind of thing. And so by us accepting less than that, we've cost a little bit of, not, I wouldn't even say it's criticism. I'd say people are like, really, I think, you should have more. And then we've got the opposite, which is, um, you know, uh, why do we have to have this much training, or why do we need training at all? So there's a lot of therapists that have been doing pregnancy massage for 15, 20 years that are like, really, why are you doing this? So so that's it's pretty much the only criticism we've really had so far. So now that we've brought it up, I'm sure we're going to get a lot of phone calls. So.
You're unlisted, right?
But I welcome it too, because we are young as an organization, and we want to know. We're here to serve the field of pregnancy massage, and so we want to know how we can do that best. The goal here is to get a lot of women that are pregnant getting massage, and by trained therapists. That's ultimately what we want to happen. So however we can get that to happen, we want to hear people's opinions about it. So.
Yep. And then Sid Duncan asks, one of his friends in Wyoming said the state actually paid for her to take Elaine's Stillerman's class to get certified. So have you heard of that too, that states will actually pay for these certifications? Or
I have not heard about that, but I'm sure Elaine was happy. So I'll have to talk. I'm actually going to be talking to her this weekend because she's here in Virginia this weekend, teaching down at Virginia Beach. So I'll have to bring that up and find out more about that for you.
Yep.
So. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yep.
But I guess, in Wyoming, there's 1,000 therapists over that huge state. So finding somebody to come up there and teach is probably very hard.
Yep. And are you going to be at the AMTA convention at all?
We are not. We thought about it. But the AMTA actually has a rule, which is other associations are not allowed to market with them. So we are another massage association. So they would prefer that we not have a booth set up and marketing ourselves there. So we elected not to head out that way. So.
Are you going to be in any other places that people can view you or talk to you then?
Well, next year we'll be back at the World Massage Federation, our World Massage Festival, and we're talking about whether to go down to Atlanta, the American Massage Conference, I think it is. And so those two are in the works, but definitely the World Massage Festival. That was a fun time last year, or this year, and in our backyard. So that, I think it's in North Carolina this year. So
yep.
So that's convenient. But other than that, we don't have any solid plans for any other venues at this point.
And how do people get in contact with you? Do they email you, or can they call, or what's the best way?
They can do any of the above. They can go to our website. We have a contact form there. Our email is info@americanpregnancymassage.org, or they can call us at 703-470-APMA. Any and all of those will work. So email is probably the most reliable, but we pick up the phone too.
Yep.
So.
And has the other like AMTA or ABMP, or have they been in contact with you at all?
Um, I've talked to a number of people at the ABMP, especially at the festival last year. We were talking to Les Sweeney, and um, we have an open dialogue with them. They're very supportive of us. I've talked to a lot of the chapter representatives of the AMTA, and um, we talked to the head office of the AMTA. In fact, they do list us on their website as a resource, which is awfully nice of them. So we have some dialogue between all the major players per se. Um,
And have you contacted Massage Today at all?
yeah,
Okay,
uh,
because Sid Duncan's
Sid
online
Duncan's
right
on
now.
there,
So
right?
yeah.
Sid and I have talked in the past,
Okay.
and um, we're in contact with um, all the magazines that are out there, and we submit them their press releases and keep them informed as to what we're doing.
And have you written any articles, or do you blog at all about this stuff too? Then, or
I have attempted to do the blogging thing. As you talked earlier, I'm not a very technologically savvy person, so um, but I have a blog on, I think it's Massage Today website, and do a little blogging on massageprofessionals.com, and communicate through a lot of therapists through that. Um, uh, that's about. And we're asked to uh, we're asked our opinion on a lot of things by various magazines, and a lot of freelance writers that might be writing an article about pregnancy massage. They contact us and ask us for some quotes sometimes, or even ask us to write a little article for them. So we do a little bit of writing that way.
and what other massage styles would you say that are possibly going to be starting associations, or which one do you know any other associations out there that are more um, certain style specific at all?
Well, there's the American Medical Massage Association, and they've got a certification system to them. Um, it's and I know that there is the I'm going to get this Geothermal Massage Association for the people that do stone work.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
Jenny Ray and yep,
Ray,
Janelle
yep,
Wackman. Yep.
yep. I know there's a number of associations for the different Asian modalities, the Thai and Shiatsu, stuff like that. I think even there's an Ashiatsu association. So there's a number of them out there. If anybody's really interested, I don't think there's a sports association yet, sports massage, but well, a lot of work to do, if there's one.
Yep. And do you think most all those massage styles out there? Do you think they need associations?
Well, I think that an association, it depends on what the association is trying to do. There's associations that are simply trying to market their members, in which case I think that anything you can do to market your specialty is a good thing. So having an association out there that's really promoting your specialty is good. Um, Whether they choose to create educational standards or certification systems, um, that I think really depends on the specialty and whether it needs it or not. So,
And has the NCB TMB or the FSMTB, have they contacted you at all, or
I have not heard from the national certification people, and um, we at the World Massage Festival, we did have a booth right next to the Federation State Licensing Board group, and so we had a lot of, we talked a lot, and I've talked to them a couple of times since then. But the federation, they're trying to get minimum standards in the testing in all 50 states, which we applaud the efforts at that. And however, it's really, we don't have too much to do working with them because we're more of a specialty or advanced setup than that. Um, I suspect that we'll be in communication with the Massage Research Foundation a lot, trying to help out pregnancy massage research. So, but I don't know whether we'll be in touch with the NCB or not. So,
And do you see yourself writing your own certification test for pregnancy massage?
well, I don't see myself writing the test. uh, what we what we see as a potential down the line, we're creating them right now. We're really focusing on the minimum standards for training, but then there is a lot more advanced stuff out there too, and I can definitely see an advanced certification in the works at some point. Um, and what we'd like to do though is what we're trying to do right now is really get the people that are the experts in this, Elaine Stillerman and Carol Osborne and Kate Jordan and the rest of these wonderful instructors, try to get them together to agree on a body of knowledge that we can use as a standard to test against. The certification has to be done by a third party. A lot of people use that word right now. They take a course and they call themselves certified. But the reality is legally, certified means a certifying agency you've gone through their requirements, and that agency is not really vested in your success or not. So a teacher or a course instructor or a school, per se, can give you a certificate of completion, saying you've met this, you've come to class, you've passed the class, you've done your work. But that's not a certification. But often people, because they use that term. So what we'd like to do is get all those teachers together and say, what really does it mean to be certified? What should be involved here? And then if we can get them all to agree on stuff, then we can come up, potentially our association could become the association that puts that all together, and we're the third party that's uninterested in whether the student passed or failed the course, financially speaking. And then we can implement certification standards at that point and possibly be a certifying agency. But that's a lot of work that's down the road. That's I don't know. That's probably $500,000 for legal fees alone.
Oh, exactly.
So,
have you thought about doing having liability insurance too that people can purchase through you? Because it seems like a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, that's a moneymaker for associations. That's why they do it. They get a cut of that, and that's all well and good. And granted, I've looked at various ways that we can create revenue for the association so we can complete our mission. But that's really not something we want to get involved in. That's best left, I think, for the major broader massage associations, the ABMP, the AMTA. I guess Massage Today is doing it too, I think. So let those bigger companies handle that. Because they're dealing with membership rates in 50 to 70,000 people, and at best, I think we'll probably have 10 to 20,000 members at some point, but still not enough to really justify having a huge insurance plan program. So,
And your first word in your association is American. Do you take other people from other countries then, or is it just your focus in the U.S.?
Yeah, the that came about. I mean, we do focus on the U.S. because um, this is where we have, I reside here. I know the massage laws here. We're working within the massage system of that, but we're not exclusive per se. We have somebody, I think 6 weeks after we formed, somebody in Indonesia found us. And I'm like, do we take their money? I'm like, well, what course did they take? And right, so we called the place that the school that they went to, and we got the information about their schooling and everything. And we're like, hey, it meets our standards. Why not? So so technically, I guess we're international because we have somebody from Jakarta in our membership base, but we're focusing on the United States. I'm more than happy to have some Canadians in here too. That's or whomever. The word American came out because back in the 80s, there was originally a National Association of Pregnancy Massage Therapists. And so that organization no longer exists, but we didn't want to confuse ourselves with the word national either. So we chose the American instead. But
And then, but you can also have many other people underneath. I mean, organizations underneath you, right? So you can have.
oh, yeah. So we can go the way the IMA used to. Right? We started off with the International Massage Association, and the International Aesthetics Association, and the International This Association. Now we're gonna keep it very simple. If we become a nonprofit, we'll probably have some state chapters and stuff like that. But there's time enough in the next life to take over the world, I guess.
So, do you have literature on your website that people can download and then give to their clients to educate them about pregnancy massage?
There's a few articles in general about pregnancy massage that's kind of more geared towards the public that's on our website. But the downloadable stuff to use as promotional material for you and reaching out to your clients, that's kind of behind the firewall of the members area. So you have to be a member to get to that.
Okay, so there's no other way in? No.
Right.
And do you actually certify schools in order to do this stuff too then?
Yeah, we've got working with some schools. A number of schools came out of the woodwork and said, hey, we'd like to include pregnancy massage as part of our curriculum. We'd like to have a module on pregnancy massage. Can you give us some curriculum guidelines so that we would meet your standards? And ultimately, we'd like to see all the schools do that. We'd love to see the minimum standards of training for pregnancy massage that we've set forth be included as a basic education program. That would go a long way to achieving our mission of getting more women connected with trained massage therapists for pregnancy. The major hurdles we're finding for therapists are, one, you've got to find the training, and you've got to get to it, and you've got to be able to pay for it. And if you want to take a 5-day workshop, that's going to cost you at least $400 for the workshop. Chances are you're going to have to travel to it. So there's another $200 to $400 in travel expenses, and you probably have to stay at a hotel. So this, you can get up to $2,000 to take a pregnancy massage course. That gets really hard to do for most therapists.
Yep.
So to have it as part of a schooling program would be wonderful. So.
Yep. And the way I look at it too, I mean, most of the clients out there are female, and some of those females do get pregnant, so you might as well get educated in that, so you can keep that client. And
you don't want to lose them when they get pregnant. So. If they send them down the road, I don't think so.
Yep. Yeah. And you don't offer a student membership or anything else, or?
We don't. And the rationale behind that is that the primary benefit that we're offering our members is that women can find you through our website. So by having student membership, we'd have to, that might muddy the waters for the pregnant woman looking to find a therapist. So she does a database search of our membership and has to figure out who's a student and who's not. That doesn't that makes it more difficult for them. And ultimately, we want to make it very easy for pregnant women to find therapists that are trained.
So there's certain guidelines. They have to have so much education before they even have the pregnancy stuff. Then too.
Well, for the guidelines for the core curriculum, or a pregnancy module that's being taught as part of a massage school. Those are a little different, and I don't actually have the full thing in front of me, but it's basically, they don't have to cover all of the anatomy of pregnancy in the pregnancy module, because we may have covered that in another module on anatomy or life development or something, in another module. So it really depends on how the school is teaching it and how they're setting it up. And so that's
And then somebody asked, how much does it cost for the membership?
It's $49 a year for an individual membership. And the way we came up with that, it's just an arbitrary number, right? The way we came up with that, we figured if we can get a client, or if we can get a therapist, one client, then it's more than paid for. So it makes it kind of a no-brainer as far as that. It's deep marketing for them.
And do they have to keep up with standards then too?
Well, they have to keep up with their the requirements set forth by their state. We don't have a continuing education requirement that's specific to pregnancy massage, mainly because other than a basic pregnancy massage course, there's really not much offerings out there. So it would be unrealistic to ask somebody to take, 6 continuing education units of pregnancy massage training every 2 or 6 years, when there's really only one basic course that's being taught out there, with a few exceptions. So it's kind of like asking them to go back and take the same course year after year. That'd get annoying. So we thought they stay current with the requirements of the jurisdiction that they're staying in. So here in Virginia, you've got to do 24 units every 2 years. So as long as they're keeping current with that, and we're happy.
Okay.
So,
but people again can contact you with any kind of questions they have. And
yep. Yeah. Just shoot us an email. If we usually get back to people within 24 hours if it's about email. If it's something we don't know, we'll try and put them in contact with somebody that does. My only request is that people not shoot us emails as to when is so-and-so having a course. You don't keep the individual instructors' course calendars. There are links to the courses on our website, so they should have their schedules. They maintain their schedules there, but we don't keep the calendar for all that. If they are having trouble finding a course that's nearby, they've done their, feel free to give us a ring or email, and we'll try and figure out, that's in the area, we'll come up with a solution for them.
And is there any website that you recommend at all for finding workshops and stuff on for pregnancy massage?
Well, we recommend our website because we list, I can't remember, I think we're probably 10 or 12 different instructors have submitted their course descriptions for us to put up on the website. So you can kind of just go there and compare a number of them right there. Other than that, you're going to be going to the individual instructors' websites for the most part. And so you have to, go look at so-and-so's website and see what's going on there, and then switch over to somebody else's website. So there's no other website out there on the market that we know about that is comparing the different instructors' stuff all on one website. So if you go to ours, AmericanPregnancyMassage.org, you can find that. So,
Uh-huh. And why didn't you, for your domain, why didn't you have the full thing and stuff instead of just American Pregnancy Massage?
why did we go American Pregnancy Massage Association?
Yeah.
Org? Man, that's a mouthful. For that very reason.
Okay.
Then my email would be rick at American Pregnancy Massage. uh, my clinic is Rejuvenation Massage Therapy, and that's one heck of a long email as it is.
Yep.
So I tried, and APA.org was already taken by the American Pediatric Medical Association, I think. So we couldn't take that one. So that was a compromise. So.
And are you for your clinic too? I mean, with your therapist, they're all certified, right? And I'm for your
Well,
standards and
they
stuff.
all have advanced training.
Yeah.
So in order, it would look really bad for the founder of the American Association
Yep.
to hire people that were not APMA qualified, right?
Yep.
Even before we formed this association, we had a policy that if you wanted to work with us, one, you had to want to do pregnancy massage because it is part of what we do, and two, you had to have training in it. So if they didn't have one that was already that met our qualifications or what became our qualifications, our company spent the money to get them trained. And so I've always felt strongly that people need to have the training in order to do the pregnancy massage.
Yep.
And we market that. We tell when people call and say, who should I see for a pregnancy massage? We can tell them it's like, hey, everybody here has advanced training in it, and we take it very seriously. And that alleviates a lot of concerns, especially you get a lot of husbands calling to do the research as to where they're going to send their wife to feel better. And when you can tell them that everybody here has advanced training, and then it's a no-brainer for them. They go ahead and they sign them up right then and there. So.
And so again, for the near future, you're thinking more of advanced, but do you think you'll have two levels then? So
Yeah, ultimately, I foresee two levels. That's kind of the direction I think makes sense, and it's what the industry seems, the people in the industry seem to want us to do when we talk to them. And ultimately, we want to do what serves our industry. If nobody wanted it, then it wouldn't make sense to try and push it. But it seems to be that that's the way people want to go. As more and more, especially with the instructors, these people that are teaching these advanced workshops, they want to differentiate themselves from people that are taking, say, a distant learning course. So I think they would like to see an advanced certification as well. And the general public wants to see it. You read the articles in People magazine or Parenting Today or whatever, and they're talking about pregnancy massage. Every one of them says, go see a certified pregnancy massage therapist. Technically, it doesn't exist right now. But everybody wants it to.
Yeah. Have you thought about doing like a conference or a convention on pregnancy massage?
Yeah, we're probably going to get down that road eventually. Right now, with 100 members, it doesn't make sense to have a conference. But we talked about, at least in the early stages, what we want to start doing is getting a lot of the people that are teaching pregnancy massage to get together. So we'll have maybe some educator summits and stuff like that. We'll maybe sponsor a symposium on pregnancy massage research. So some little things like that. Having a full-size conference or a convention is exceptionally expensive. Ask the AMTA about that, right? think 30% of their budget or 40% of their budget spent in that convention. Um, so that's a lot of money and a lot of resources to pour into it. So right now, that's not really our focus. Um, uh, we'd rather, we're more of a grassroots um, relationship building mode right now. So
Yeah, and then there's a cancer massage association too. I can't
yeah,
remember the website, but
yeah,
I know they have a summit. Like I think it's every 3 or 4 years or something like that.
I think you're right. Oncology Massage
Yep.
Association or something. So um, yeah, it'd be lovely to have something like say in Costa Rica or something. You know,
Yep.
but
Or at least on a cruise ship or something.
right, I can get some scuba diving. You might convince me. You know.
Yep. Hey, water bursts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
And is there any other things that we didn't cover, you think, that you'd want the public to know?
I was trying to think. We kind of batted around a lot of things. So uh, I think the main thing is what we if you're going to be doing pregnancy massage, you know, get some training. The the horror stories I could tell you about people, you know, the emails I get of asking questions that are absolutely horrific. You know, it's like people talking about doing their third trimester client that's prone on a table doing deep tissue back work on them, and they're asking a question about, you know, how to alleviate the leg cramping when they do that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Who's got their third trimester person prone and digging an elbow into them? You know, and these are therapists that have been working, you know, sometimes, you know, 15 years. And so there's some, you know, there's some real safety issues out there. And, you know, pregnancy massage is not hard to do. It's wonderfully fun to do. They're great clients to work with. But there are some basic things you need to know. And that's, you know, that's why we are advocating getting some basic training before you start working with pregnant clients. So
Yes, definitely, because at least get the basic minimum, because the thing is, I mean, I've heard so many times that people do not have any kind of training at all in schools and stuff.
mhm.
It's just, it's scary, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's, you know, I mean, I just assumed when I first went into this that, you know, some really basic, you know, common sense things wouldn't happen. And then, you know, now that we formed this association, you know, we obviously attract a lot of questionings and you know, people come to us for as resources and so forth. And it just couldn't believe some of the basic safety things that people are just not doing or totally going against. That seem to be common sense, but apparently they're not. And you know, and there are places in this country where you don't have to have massage training to be in, you know, to work in massage. So, you know, how many 18-year-old guys coming out of high school know anything about pregnancy massage? You know, when they decide to start calling themselves a massage therapist, or you know, it's sometimes it can be a little scary. And we don't want to scare women into thinking that, you know, somebody could hurt them, but
Yeah.
you know, 99% of the time they'll be fine. But
Yeah, because the state I live in, there's no rules and regulations, so it's just city by city. So in Minnesota, it's like that. Yeah.
yeah, so um, yeah, that's, I guess, same way in California and a couple other places. So you know, so that's what, you know, we're trying to get people out there to know, use some common sense. And if you'd like to do pregnancy massage, you know, there's a lot of great courses out there. It does take a lot of time and energy and commitment to do it, but do take a little bit of time necessary to get the training. If you're thinking about going into pregnancy massage, I wholeheartedly support it. You know, it's probably the great, you know, I'm biased, but it's the greatest pregnancy or greatest massage specialty out there, I think.
Yeah.
So. they're all happy, and they're not coming in injured usually. They're sore and need help getting through this time in their life, and they're some of the most grateful clients you'll ever have. And I still get calls at the clinic, even though I'm not doing the massage right now. Referrals from women that I've worked on 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't seen them in 5 years, but they're still telling people pregnant to come get a massage at our clinic because it was such a wonderful experience for them. Um, so, so it's just a very rewarding field. So.
Yes, definitely. And again, two for the price of one. So.
Right, exactly. Two for the price of one. So
Yep.
let's use that marketing
Yep.
material there. Just for the price of one, then fine, baby board.
Yep. Okay, so thank you very much, Rick, for tonight, and it's so nice to actually talk to you because in World Massage Festival, I was running around with my head cut off all the time, shooting everybody.
Right. Yeah, we were yelling at each other across the alley, right?
Yep, yeah. So again, if anybody wants to get a hold of Rick, AmericanPregnancyMassage.org, right?
Correct.
Yep. Okay, so thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yep, good night. Thanks.